Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the secrets of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of one of the most pivotal battles in European history, the Battle of Tours. This epic clash of arms, which took place on a fateful day in October 732, would shape the course of Western civilization, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of human experience. As we delve into the origins of this momentous event, let us transport ourselves to the early 8th century, a time when the vast expanse of the Frankish kingdom stretched across modern-day France, Germany, and Italy. The year is 711, and the Iberian Peninsula, once a bastion of Roman power, has fallen under the sway of the Umayyad Caliphate, as Muslim armies swept across the Strait of Gibraltar, leaving a trail of conquest in their wake. We find ourselves amidst the sun-drenched landscapes of Hispania, where the cities of Toledo, Cordoba, and Seville bustled with activity, as the Moors established their capital in the former Visigothic stronghold of Cordoba. The Umayyad Caliphate, under the leadership of Al-Walid I, had been expanding its dominions across North Africa and into Europe, driven by a desire to spread Islam and assert its authority over the fractious kingdoms of the West. The Visigoths, who had once ruled over Hispania and Gaul, now found themselves increasingly marginalized by the rising tide of Islamic power. Their legacy, however, continued to shape the cultural and political landscape of the region, as they clung to their ancestral lands and traditions. We witnessed the intricate web of alliances and rivalries that defined this era, as Charles Martel, the Frankish mayor of the palace, navigates the complex landscape of Frankish politics, seeking to unite the warring factions against the common enemy. The city of Aquitaine, with its rich cultural heritage and strategic location, would play a pivotal role in the events leading up to the Battle of Tours as its ruler. Duke Odo walks a delicate tightrope between his loyalty to the Franks and his growing unease with the expanding Umayyad Caliphate. As we explore the earliest history of the Battle of Tours, we find ourselves immersed in a world of complex alliances, shifting loyalties, and epic struggles. We see the armies of Abd al-Rahman al-Ghafiqi, the Umayyad governor of Al-Andalus, and Charles Martel clashing on the battlefields of Gaul, as they vie for control over the strategic cities and trade routes that crisscross the region. The fate of Western civilization hangs in the balance, as these two great powers collide in a struggle that would shape the course of European history. The stage is set, dear listeners, for a drama that will unfold with breathtaking intensity. The characters are in place: Charles Martel, the cunning and resourceful Frankish leader; Abd al-Rahman al-Ghafiqi, the ambitious and ruthless Umayyad governor; and Duke Odo, the wily and independent ruler of Aquitaine. The setting is established: the sun-drenched landscapes of Hispania, the rolling hills of Gaul, and the strategic cities that controlled the fate of Europe. And so, as we conclude our examination of the earliest history of the Battle of Tours, we find ourselves poised on the cusp of a new era, one that would be marked by great upheaval and transformation. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, dear listeners, as we delve into the very heart of the Battle of Tours, a pivotal moment in European history that would shape the course of Western civilization. On a fateful day in October 732, the two armies collided near the city of Poitiers, in what is now modern-day France. The Umayyad forces, led by Abd al-Rahman al-Ghafiqi, were a formidable foe, with their lightning-fast cavalry and skilled archers. But Charles Martel, the cunning Frankish leader, had prepared his army well, choosing a defensive position that would neutralize the Umayyad advantage in mobility. As the battle raged on, the Franks held firm against the Umayyad onslaught, their shield wall unbroken despite the ferocity of the attack. The Umayyads, meanwhile, were unable to break through the Frankish lines, and their cavalry charges were repeatedly repelled by the steady Frankish infantry. The battle was fierce and intense, with both sides suffering heavy casualties, but in the end, it was the Franks who emerged victorious. The Battle of Tours was a turning point in European history, marking the high tide of Islamic expansion into Western Europe. The Umayyad Caliphate would never again threaten the Frankish kingdom, and the victory at Tours paved the way for the rise of Charlemagne and the Carolingian Empire. But it was not just a military victory that made Tours so significant. It was also a cultural and ideological triumph, as the Franks asserted their identity and their values against the encroaching tide of Islam. As we explore the primary events surrounding the Battle of Tours, we are struck by the bravery, cunning, and strategic brilliance that defined this epic clash of civilizations. We see Charles Martel, the Frankish leader, outmaneuvering his Umayyad opponents at every turn, using his knowledge of the terrain to outflank and defeat them. We see the Franks, fighting with all their might, determined to defend their homeland against the invaders. And we see the Umayyads, proud and fierce, but ultimately unable to overcome the Frankish defenses. The Battle of Tours was a momentous occasion, one that would shape the course of European history for centuries to come. It marked the beginning of a new era, one in which the Franks would emerge as the dominant power in Western Europe, and it paved the way for the rise of Christianity as a unifying force in European society. As we conclude our examination of the Battle of Tours, we are left with a sense of wonder and awe at the bravery and cunning of the men who fought on that fateful day. We see the significance of this battle in the broader context of European history, and we appreciate the ways in which it shaped the course of Western civilization. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, dear listeners, as we conclude our journey through the pivotal moments of the Battle of Tours. In the aftermath of the battle, the Umayyad Caliphate began to withdraw its forces from Western Europe, never again to threaten the Frankish kingdom. The victory at Tours paved the way for the rise of Charlemagne and the Carolingian Empire, which would go on to shape the course of European history for centuries to come. The Battle of Tours also had a profound impact on the cultural and ideological landscape of Europe. The Franks' assertion of their identity and values against the encroaching tide of Islam helped to solidify Christianity as a unifying force in European society. The battle marked a significant milestone in the development of Western Christendom, shaping the course of art, literature, and architecture for generations to come. As we explore the decline or aftermath of the Battle of Tours, we see that it was not without its challenges. The Frankish kingdom faced numerous threats from other rival powers, including the Saxons and the Avars. However, under the leadership of Charlemagne, the Franks were able to expand their territories, spreading Christianity and establishing a new era of peace and prosperity. The legacy of the Battle of Tours can be seen in the many historical accounts that have been written about it over the centuries. From the Frankish chroniclers to the modern historians, the battle has been remembered as a pivotal moment in European history, one that shaped the course of Western civilization. As the historian Edward Gibbon once wrote, "The Battle of Tours was a turning point in the history of the world, a moment when the fate of Christendom hung in the balance." Today, the Battle of Tours remains an important part of our shared cultural heritage, a reminder of the bravery and cunning of the men who fought on that fateful day. As we reflect on the significance of this battle, we are reminded of the power of human ingenuity and determination to shape the course of history. In conclusion, dear listeners, the Battle of Tours was a momentous occasion that shaped the course of European history for centuries to come. Its legacy can be seen in the many historical accounts that have been written about it, and its impact on Western Christendom continues to be felt today. As we bring our journey through this pivotal moment to a close, we are left with a sense of wonder and awe at the bravery and cunning of the men who fought on that fateful day, and a deeper appreciation for the ways in which their actions continue to shape our world today. As we reflect on the significance of the Battle of Tours, we are reminded of the words of the great historian, Henri Pirenne, who wrote, "The Battle of Tours was not just a military victory, but a cultural and ideological triumph, one that marked the beginning of a new era in European history." And so, dear listeners, as we conclude our podcast series on the Battle of Tours, we hope that you will carry with you a deeper understanding of this pivotal moment, and a greater appreciation for the ways in which it continues to shape our world today. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. That's all for today's History with Herodotus.